Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching or listening to us from. This is the Naija FC Podcast, where we bring you our raw, honest, unfiltered opinions on all the hottest and latest topics in the world of Nigerian football. As always, I'm your host, AyoT, and I have with me once again my reliable co host.
Smith Layi. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, guys. On today's episode of the Nigeria FC podcast, we have quite a number of topics to cover. Everything ranging from the review of the past weekend, talking about some Nigerian players who are impressing, some who are not impressing as much. Talk about some transfers that happen, as well as some transfer rumors. And if we have the time, maybe we will get into a little bit talk about the under 20 national team as they kick off their campaign in a couple days. And of course, at the end of the show, if any of you would like to call in to share your thoughts with us, we will give you the opportunity to do so. But first of all, you guys know I always kick it off by reviewing the past weekend of action and just highlighting some of the Nigerian players who have performed well in the last week. Okay, in goal, we had Joshua Oluwayemi with eight saves for his club, Wellington Phoenix. Unfortunately, one way or the other, they still lost that game. So, unfortunate one for him. We had Arthur Okonkwo keeping a clean sheet and making three saves for Wrexham as they earned their promotion to the EFL Championship. Maduka Okoye also kept a clean sheet but only had one save to make as Udinese drew versus Bologna. In defense, we had Bruno Oyemechi, another start for him, keeping a clean sheet and winning 4 goals for Olympiacos in Greece. Ashley Plumter kept a clean sheet with 2 goals and 2 assists from centre back as Etihad ladies wrapped up their season with a big victory. Igoh Ogbu kept a clean sheet, made 3 tackles, 6 interceptions, 7 clearances, and won 9 duels. Big performance for him as Slavia Prague clinched the Czech league title. Samuel Oreyobo scored a goal, also kept a clean sheet, and was the man of the match for Yelimai. Chibuike Wenwu scored 1 goal while making 3 tackles and winning 9 duels with 11 clearances won as well for Wolfsberger AC in Austria. In midfield, Ogene Table won one penalty and also won 4 interceptions for Genk Beligi in Turkey. He went off with a knock, hopefully nothing too serious. Akabueze Bentley with 3 chances created and 7 goals on for Stanley Faspa also in Turkey. Chinwendu Onkama scored a goal and also won 7 goals for AC Bellinzona. Izu Okonkwo created 5 chances for FC Van, and Tetsin Yene scored 2 goals for FC Ararat Armenia. And then for the forwards, Alex Iwobi got another assist for Fulham, a good pass to Emil Smith Rowe. We had Anayo Wala with an assist for Al Arabi in Kuwait. Lucky Eze scored a goal for Banska. We had Sani Suleiman with a goal for AS Trenchin. Moses David Kobnan was on target for Krasnodar in Russia, Nigeria, Russia. Francisca Odega was on target for Etihad Ladies. Nathan Teller got an assist. Unfortunately, also had 1 goal disallowed for Bayer Leverkusen. Rashidat Ajibade was back amongst the goals with an assist for Atletico de Madrid Femenino. Monday Etim, 1 goal, 1 penalty, one for Hillerod. Edna Amade with a goal and 3 chances created for Granada. Etiosa Godaro scored a goal for Amazulu in South Africa. Cyril Dessers also scored a goal for Rangers in Scotland. Chuba Akwam from the start got an assist for LOSC Lille in France. Emeka Eze scored 1 goal for Pendixper. Tony Payne got an assist in a beautiful performance for Everton ladies. Bede Osuji scored 1 goal and created 1 chance for Manisa FK in Turkey. And then Victor James Osimhen with 1 goal and 1 assist for Galatasaray as they continue to lead in the Turkish Super League. There you have it. Very, very quickly, just to touch on our star of the week for this week was Ashley Plumter, clean sheet, 2 goals, 2 assists as a centre back. She took that crown quite easily, even though some other players had very, very impressive performance to note. And then for our team of the week, we had in goal Joshua Oluwayemi with his 8 saves. In defense, we had Ashley Plumter, Igoh Ogbu, and Chibuike Unwaewu. In the midfield, Rashid Ajibade from the right, Alex Obi from the left, Tenten Yene and Ogene Tebo in the middle of the park. And then the three strikers were Edna Amadi of Granada, Victor Osimhen of Galatasaray, and then Monday Etim of Hillerod. There you have it, guys. Those are the Nigerian players who performed well this past weekend. If I missed anybody, please, please, please forgive me. It's hard to cover every single person. But of course, you guys know at Eagle Striker, we track over 450 different Nigerian players. And this past weekend, over the 2 days, we were following over 150 different matches that could potentially involve Nigerian players. So while we do our best to follow all these games, there's always a potential that maybe one or two people slip through the cracks. And of course, we encourage Nigerian players. If you want us to make sure that we post about you, make sure we update about your games, just send us a DM to inform us about how you did. I've seen times where some certain players complain that, oh, we don't post them. But again, when we're tracking 90 different matches in one day, it's hard. We cannot make 90 different posts. It's not very easy to do all of that. So we prioritize certain players that we know people want to hear about, people are really interested in, players that perform very well. But if you want us to just talk about your game, feel free to send a DM. Okay, Smith Layi, lots of quality performances this past weekend.
Okay.
Who impressed you the most?
You know, I think I have to go for Victor Osimhen. Another. Remember that when he joined last year, he gave me a target, and I'm expecting you to now come and tell us how he actually was made those targets. So for me, Victor Osimhen did well again. The assist was like a steal. I think what was going to
It
the
was probably going to go in, yeah, but
Brian goes going, but Victor doesn't care. He's already got so many goals. So for me, Victor Osimhen stood out again. Fantastic performance from him. You can see his energy level recovers from the disappointment of the game against Zimbabwe. Putting all this energy on it. So for me, Victor Osimhen again, the best performer for me.
mm. I mean, I already spoke about Ashley Pumpton and what she did. I agree with you that Victor Osimhen was very good. So just to touch on somebody that hasn't been highlighted, Tony Payne, playing for Everton ladies. Unfortunately, they lost that game 3-2 versus Brighton. She played as the false nine in that match. Fantastic performance by Tony Payne. I know many people don't necessarily maybe pay attention to women's football as much. They don't really watch those games. But I did, and I was very, very impressed with how she performed, holding the ball up, dribbling, getting her teammates involved, creating chances for her team, as well as the goal that she scored. I thought she was very, very, very good. And of course, Rashida Ajibade was also very good. I'm happy to see her back amongst the goals. It's been like 7 games that she has not really been involved in goals or assists. She came off the bench for about 5 of them, and then she started the last game. And then this one, she got another start and a beautiful assist for her teammates to finish. Unfortunately, Atletico Madrid, they're not really getting all the results that they need to get to, that they need to get. But other than that, everything seems to be going well on a personal note for Rashida Ajibade. And I mean, this summer is potentially a big summer for her as well, in terms of her future and in terms of her career. Okay. In the comments, please let us know very quickly who impressed you. Who impressed you? Who did you like their performance? Who did you enjoy watching? Just let us know very, very quickly. Who impressed you? Yes, Chibuike scored against Salzburg. Yeah, I mentioned him. He's been very good for Wolfsberger since he moved to Austria. Hopefully, he can continue like that. But he's one of those players that I've been following very, very closely this season, and his performances have definitely been worthy of note. And of course, it was a big win for Wolfsberger against Salzburg. So that's not something that happens every day for a team at that level. So I was actually very happy for him that he was able to get that one. Let me see. Okay, I see somebody is saying that my camera is a bit blurry. I'm not sure why that would be happening. Maybe it's an internet thing. I don't know because on my end it seems quite quite good. But I understand that for you guys it might be looking different. So maybe it's an internet thing. But please forgive me if it doesn't um fix up. Then maybe I would try to leave and then come back into the stream just to see.
It's going to adjust.
Yeah, but let's see if it adjusts. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Thanks for letting me know. I can see somebody is saying Victor Osimhen still. Osimhen did very well. I love his performance in that match. His all-round performance was very good. Okay. Somebody said Philip Otele, but Otele was okay at best. But yes, please, if you are watching on other social media platforms, make sure you join us. Make sure you join us on YouTube. Make sure you join us on YouTube. Somebody is saying it's clear for me. You guys, I'm not really sure. Why that would be the case though, I don't know. Maybe there's something, my internet connection is not as strong today or something. But please bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Okay.
Itself. He's gonna come. He's gonna adjust himself.
Yeah. Okay, Smilai, let's touch on a couple. Let's touch on a couple players very quickly. Should we start with positive or the one? There's just one slightly negative that I had penned
Yeah,
down. Which one? Good news or
positive.
bad news first?
Let's start with the good news first, so that I can hype up.
Okay, let's start with the good news. The first thing that I want to highlight, a man that I want to give his due credit, Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen at the start of the season. For all those that have been watching the show for a long time, you guys remember I set a target. Not that I thought he would listen to me, not that I think he cares how much I think he should do, but for me, oh, based on the hype and the belief and the potential that I have in Victor Osimhen, I said I need him to score me 30 goals for Galatasaray this season. And it is with joy and with pleasure that I report to you that as we currently speak, Victor Osimhen has scored 31 goals on the season. Of course, he scored to send or help Galatasaray reach the Turkish Cup final, and he also scored in their league victory over AyoT. Victor Osimhen is on 31 goals this season. A fantastic striker, one of the best, if not the best in the world. The league that he's playing in, I said he needs to show them that this is not his level. Normal, normal. If no be circumstance, he no suppose they play for Turkey, and he has shown it and is continuing to show it. Too much quality for the Turkish players, too much quality for the Turkish league. 31 goals on the season, and you can expect him to score maybe three or four more before the season wraps up, or maybe even five. Who knows? He can score one hat trick and then bang bang another goal. I'm expecting him to score in the final of the Turkish Cup as well. Fantastic performance, fantastic season by Victor Osimhen. No surprise that his name continues to spring up in all these conversations about transfers. He is a solution to any club that has the striker problem. Victor Osimhen is a solution. That's just the reality. It's a matter of whether your finances can match Victor Osimhen. We'll talk about that later in the show. But any club that is looking for a striker, Osimhen is a solution. And I am happy that he has been able to hit the 30 goal mark. I remember when I was saying it at the start of the season, some of you are watching the show right now. You guys were in the comments saying, this IoT guy always setting unrealistic expectation. Oh, IoT is always saying Osimhen must do this, Osimhen must do that. Oh, if it's because, can you guys see? It just shows that I even had more belief than you people that think you are the biggest Osimhen fans. But I mean, I'm so happy. I'm happy that he continues to live up to this hype. I'm happy that he continues to show himself. I feel like maybe playing in this Galatasaray season has actually helped him to be able to learn and add certain new skills to his game that now he's becoming more of an all-round striker. We said it, I think, 2 weeks ago. All that is left now is for Victor Osimhen to start scoring free kicks, and I don't think Parini. But I'm very, very happy. I'm happy 31 goals this season, expecting 3, 4, 5 more before the season wraps up. Shout out to Victor Osimhen, man. Shout out to Victor Osimhen. Smilai, how do you see Victor Osimhen's season so far for Galatasaray?
For me, like really, really impressed with this season. Both for club and country. Remember that he joined very late. He didn't do any preseason, and when the goals did not come early, people are starting criticizing. Hey, he's giving assists. He's not scoring goals. But things changed. And when Mario Kart came, they started assisting each other before. In fact, it was like Mario Kart was his helper. When he came, he started scoring and Kadi got injured, and Victor Osimhen continued from where they actually was stopped. So for me, has been a very good season for him, and you don't expect. In fact, if Victor Osimhen to score 20 goals this season, not failure.
Hmm.
Standards he don't set, and that's why we continue to say this thing that other strikers are under the shadow of Victor Osimhen, because he has raised the bar.
So
And
high.
we know that Onazi have been scoring goals too, but in my own opinion, scoring goals for when it was in Turkey, but this Victor Osimhen go like class act. It was like a razor sharp finish. In fact, he has even improved on his penalty taking too. So maybe free kick is next. Maybe when he joined Barcelona, is going to free kick. I'm happy with Victor Osimhen, and so many continue.
Mm. Long may it continue.
Yeah.
Long may it continue. Guys, please do not forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Less than half of people that are currently watching have hit the like button, which is not very nice, guys. So please, please, please hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing. And if you like what we're doing so much, or you just like us, or you just want to support our efforts, you can always leave a super chat. That won't cost you money, but is a very good way of showing that you appreciate what we're doing. Everything from $100 to $100 to $1,000 to $1,000,000 is very much appreciated. So please, guys, let the super chat roll. If you have any questions for us, please make sure you leave your question with a super chat, or you sign up to be a member of the channel so that we can prioritize your comments, because of course we have quite a number of comments that are coming in throughout the show. And last call, if you are on X, Instagram, Facebook, and you want to enjoy the full show, please tune in on YouTube. Otherwise, you are going to miss out when the stream ends on those other platforms within the next 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let me quickly take some of the comments. Adidotun says, shout out Adidotun, member of the channel. It says, a lot of people didn't like it when AyoT said Osimhen must score 30 goals. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
But now they are seeing. They are seeing. Um, Somebody says, don't keep all the credit. Oh, now me and you set the 30 goals target. Now everyone 40 self before we reduce them. Okay, okay. Interesting one. Some other people are asking questions, but again, please, guys, if you want us to take your questions, just make sure you accompany with a super chat of any amount. Just accompany with a super chat, and we'll prioritize your question and push it to the forefront. But yes, once again, man, I'm very, very excited for Victor Osimhen. I like how he's doing. I like how he's performing, and if he can score 35 goals this season, I think that would be a very good return, considering the fact that is scoring over a goal per game. So I think it's very good, and it's showing to everybody that he's beyond this level. He's beyond the level of playing in Turkey. Now condition just allow him in there here. Now condition. Okay. Shout out to Victor Osimhen. Let us move forward very, very quickly. Another Super Eagles player having a fine season, and of course, a lot of talk surrounding his future is Tolu Arokodare. Rising star, of course, a player that has finally come into the limelight this season, scoring goals for Genk. He hit his 20th league goal of the season over the weekend. 20 league goals is no mean feat by any means. No matter where you're playing, it is impressive. He's the top goal scorer in the Belgian Jupiler Pro League. So you have to give him his due credit. I'm happy with how he's doing. But unfortunately, his club, KFC Genk, as well as the club of Rafael Onyedika, Club Brugge, they have decided that they want to potentially bottle the end to the season, dropping points in their last two matches. Club Brugge dropping points in their last two games. Genk as well. They have allowed Union Saint Gilloise to go to the top of the league, and it's a very close one. The Belgian league system is very weird with how they do their playoffs, and then you guys keep facing each other over and over and over again to see which team is going to come out on top. In a way, I like it because their what's it called? Their league is always very competitive till the end. I don't know if you follow the end of the season in Belgium, but most of the time it comes down to like the last day, and it's because of the way they do the playoff system. When they have everybody's points, then you start playing against each other. So even if you have been leading by like 13 points in the regular season, by the time they have the points, your 13 points lead becomes 6 points. All of a sudden now you lose two matches, they don't pass you or something. Very interesting one. But Union Sengilwa seem to be overpowering them, and I hope that they are able to bounce back. I want at least one of the Nigerian players to win the league. There are actually two Nigerian players in Genk, Arokodare and Iraso.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that they are able to do it, so that at least we can be celebrating. Because if USG win, there's no joy for me as a Nigerian following the Belgian league. But at
Yeah.
least if Arokodare is able to get it, it's going to be impressive. Or if Onyedika is going to get it, and regardless of which of them wins it, we're expecting that this summer is a big summer for them. So I really, really hope that happens. But Smilai, how do you see the season that Arokodare is having and the end to the season that his club is having as well?
Is they're bottling it just like in Milan, bottling this area currently. Genk is Chelsea. Genk is also bottling the Belgium Pro League. So, no, I like you. I want him to finish with the title in the Belgian league. For him to, he's having a very good season. A player that wasn't that impressive in the Milan. Getting to his strides in the Belgian league, and you know that Belgian league is like a mecca for Nigerian players. If you have been battered before, just go
Hmm.
to the Belgian league and you go and put your career together. And you come back. I don't want to mention names here. A lot of people who benefited from it. It's like a school
Hmm.
for Nigerian players. If you have been battered before, that's why I might tell some players that see, don't be ashamed to go to Belgian league. Go and learn your lesson. When you learn your lesson, then you can come
They
back.
can come back.
So Arokodare now, he jumped to Germany before. Now he went to learn his lesson in this thing. So now he can move because he don't learn that lesson very well. So some people pass in Belgium, but they still fail when they come out. But I'm happy for Arokodare. He's doing well.
Hmm.
For me, big move. He needs to improve, on so many areas. He needs to improve so many areas. And his mentality to need to actually work need to change. I don't want him in Turkey if he's thinking about Turkey. But in Spain, I don't know which team can buy him in Spain. But we expect a big summer. Maybe Saudi money will come too. You never know.
Okay, let's see. We'll talk about Arokodare a bit more as we continue today's show. We'll talk about Arokodare a bit more. I believe, guys, my camera issue should have been fixed. I think I realized what the problem was. So please
Okay.
just confirm from you guys' end if
Yeah,
it is looking clearer. But I
yeah.
think it should have been fixed now.
Shout out to Tisugo. Tisugo. I don't know if
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I was about to come to it.
Yeah.
Shout out to TC Gogo. We appreciate you. First super chat of the night. Thank you for your support. No question. You just say my people. We greet you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support.
Number one.
Always, always, always appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, so TC Gogo has opened the floor. So guys, don't let him outshine you. Don't let him outdo you. Kelvin from Dubai. Yeah, Dubai people always are. Those of you in the USA, Canada, India, you
Yeah.
know, leave a super chat. And of course, as Mr. Dotun is highlighting, please make sure you hit the like button as well. And then, yes, please, the stream is ending now on other social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram. So please, guys, join us on YouTube. I've given you guys 30 minutes. You can join us on YouTube to enjoy the rest of the show.
So
Thank you very much.
just sorry, just on a lighter note. Yeah, I saw the options of what you put here about like it or no, I don't want to like it. Why do you put that? Some people say like say click on that to say I don't want to like it. Well, why do you put that option there? Just something like that.
Just to see how people are feeling now.
Some people say they don't want to. So we have some enemies here. Okay, continue, guys.
Yeah, it be like that sometimes. But please, guys, like the video, and please leave super chats to support, or if you have any questions or any topic that you want us to talk about, much, much, much appreciated.
So
Okay.
sorry, just to ask some question. Because people asking me. So for example, now since Google has the open floor now, so any question when he ask, is he allowed to ask questions throughout the this thing, or he has to put super chat anytime he wants to ask question?
No, no. I mean, normal is supposed to be one super chat per question, but
Uh-huh.
because we are
Yes.
nice.
Yeah,
So once you've left a super chat, then your questions are prioritized for the rest of the show. You
yeah,
know, but and we still a group, but by the time we don't they get plenty viewers now. This thing goes up. But no, shout out to TC Gogo, thank you.
yeah,
But yes, okay. People are saying that my camera is clearer now. It's all good. So yes, I realized what the issue was. Okay, let's keep it going. Shout out to Tolu while I share Arokodare. Okay.
yeah.
Also, let's just very quickly highlight and shout out a Super Eagles player. I mean, it was caught up. He not really play, but we'll still give him some credits. Igoh Ogbu, champion of the Czech Republic with SK Slavia Prague. And of course, let me not forget David Moses, who is also a part of that team. They clinched the Czech League title over the weekend. A fantastic display by Igor Ogbu in that match. And it means that they will play in the league phase of the 2025/2026 UEFA Champions League. So, all things being equal, unless one of them leaves or both of them leave, we should be having two Nigerian players minimum in next season's UEFA Champions League. I saw earlier today somebody was telling me that Igoh Ogbu is a player that I think is ready for the top five leagues. I don't really know about that, but I have to give him his credit for winning the league this season with Slavia Prague. Yeah, brother, with Slavia Prague. Good player, good defender, good in the Czech league. I want to see him play Champions League a little bit. Let's see if he can keep up with the big boys. Because the new league phase in Champions League, you are going to face one or two big teams within your first few matches. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Shout out to him. I'm happy. I'm happy. And David Moses as well. David Moses still not a key player for Slavia Prague, but of course, any kind of success is good. Even if you did bench every game, you win the league. You're excited. You get a medal. You get to celebrate it. And of course, hopefully they register him for the Champions League next season. But I think he'll be a bigger part of their squad next season. So he should be part of the Champions League. Smithai, what do you think about that? Igor Ogbu and David Moses, Czech champions.
Good, good for them. I'm happy for Igoh at least. Doing well. But people have been talking about that. There's not been a lot of offers for him because Senegalese left back that plays for their clubs are, I don't know, maybe is it Diouf? It's called Diouf also. He plays as a left back, very
Mm.
tough guy. A lot of clubs in England looking, to sign him. I don't know why Igoh is short of offers, despite being one of the captains too in that team, one of the leaders in that team. So I just hope that he can also continue to actually to do well and attract what offers. David Moses is slightly on the younger side, and so he's still growing. He just got a break move. I think he moved this summer. He moved this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it this summer or this winter also?
I'm not sure exactly, but it was this season that he joined them for
He
sure.
just joined slightly. So and somebody that just
He
came from
joined them in December. Mm.
December. So somebody else came from my academy. So you will see more of him when actually when you see when next season actually what starts. They might say Igoh, but no offers coming for him. That is just my own issues on that. Maybe it just needs to maybe his agents needs to work harder, and see if we can actually get him. So maybe they need to go and get you promoting agent or fix him quickly.
Maybe it needs to get your promoting agent. It's
Yeah,
funny because I had promoting in mind to talk about something else later in the show today, but
okay.
we'll get there. But I mean, I think he shouldn't rush it. I don't think, honestly, I don't think he should rush it. I know
Mm-hmm.
that there's always the excitement when you start to do well. Maybe when you get your first Super Eagles call up, you start to feel that, oh, you've arrived now. You must go and play in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I like Igobu. He's a nice guy. I know him personally. We're not friends, but we've communicated every now and then. I personally just don't think that he has shown enough to play at the highest level right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he can get there. He has the potential to reach that level. But as of now, stay in Slavia, I think, at least one more season. Stay there, establish yourself, play in the Champions League. Because if you make a move now to any of the top five leagues, for example, maybe unless you are going to France to go and play for Nantes or to go and play for Brest or Rennes or one of these other clubs, if you go anywhere else and you don't quite cut it, it might be difficult for you. You don't want to become an outcast. You don't, football is a very interesting game because you're on a high right now. Things are going very well for you. One bad move, one thing doesn't go in your favor, and then all of a sudden things are no longer going the way you want it to go. So I personally think that he should stay there, get that Champions League experience, win the league again if he can, and then if his performance and his level actually goes up, maybe he actually now gets to play a couple games for Nigeria. Then in the next summer he can be on the move. He's already 25 years old. Next year he'll be 26. If he can hit his peak next year, no reason why he can't make that move and go and make some money and play at a bigger club. Yeah.
Said 26. I said, well, I wish him the very best because when you say peak at 26, there's so many things to his game that is not improved on. He's so rash in his tackle, a lot of things in his game that he has not improved on.
Hmm.
He's still the greatest Igbo West, but I just think that there's a lot of things in his game that he needs to actually want to improve on before they can scout him. I saw his scouting report actually, a report, they actually what did on him. I saw his scouting report. So there's so many areas he needs to actually want to work on. And I got some feelers too, people that played against him. So we don't want someone to come and do Lukaku for him here. So let him learn. When he learns, then he can actually what comes to Super Eagles.
Mm. No, and I agree with you. There's areas of his game that he definitely needs to improve on, but let's see. That's why I said let him stay one more season, see if he can add some other things to his game.
He's
What do you
27. If he becomes 27 years old in that Czech Republic League, if he clocks 27 there, na Saudi straight.
say? He said that son. No, now from there he can even if it's Belgium, he can still find a way to Belgium.
Oh, well, Belgium is not. If
Belgium is better than Czech now.
Belgium is better than Czech, but when you see you now going to start because Belgium is like the start point. You are going to be struggling that with somebody, the boy from Club Group. What is his name again? Osuji. Now be someone that is 20 years. You are coming at the age of 28. I go no.
Yes, it's like life. Everybody is running a different race in life. Nobody everybody will go be star player.
I just I wasted a lot of time in that Norway. It was in Norway.
Mm. But it also is it wasn't exciting that much until later. Some people are late bloomers. Let's hope that is a late bloomer. Look
Yeah,
at if at 20, what Jamie Vardy was still playing in the National League,
yeah.
he
But
never reached anywhere.
I
So,
know
what do you say?
that's an anomaly. It's
It's
not.
an anomaly, I agree, but it just at least it show you say if it happen, so all of a sudden you can just
Mm,
boost
okay,
up,
why predict? We are just follow the normal trend. I don't know. In science, they say line of best fit. So we ignore the anomaly. We focus on the.
we focus on the line of message. Okay. Okay. But yes, congratulations to both Igor Ogbu and David Moses on winning the league. Always, always nice to win a
Mhm,
trophy.
mhm,
Okay, let's talk about one negative, then we'll wrap up with a positive. So
mhm,
the one negative, not even that anything happened per se, but I was just looking at it, and then somebody spoke about it, and I said, it is true. What exactly is going on? So like, this is a player that I know you like, so I'll let you take the floor first on this one. Gift Orban.
mhm,
Gift Orban joined Hoffenheim,
mhm,
scored a couple goals.
mhm,
Everybody was excited,
mhm,
saying that okay, this boy has picked up again, and he was even scoring important goals that were helping them to clinch points, to
mhm,
win games, to climb up the table. And then after some time, relegated to the bench.
mhm,
Sometimes they don't bring him on. Sometimes they bring him on for chicken change minutes.
mhm.
You know, it starts to beg the question to me that is there more that is going on behind the scenes that we are just not aware of? Why is it that he starts playing and then all of a sudden they lose faith in him? Because it's like the talent is there.
Mhm.
So could there be more that maybe we're just not seeing? What do you think?
Even when he was playing, he was not adding so much to the team. Let's be honest. But the goals
It
were
was
covering.
happening some goals.
The ghost was covering the whole thing. He
Mm.
was getting those numbers in there. But I just think that the guy needs a retreat. He needs to go away from football slightly. This summer, let him just go and rest first. Maybe he should go to go. Sorry, to go to Nigeria and and go and rest. Just to relax himself first. There's a lot of things actually were going on. I think he's a father now. Maybe the fact being a father is getting to him, being a family man, he cannot really relate that one with what is happening. A lot of things needs to actually work. He needs a psychologist. That he's working with a very experienced agent now at Aneke. So I think Ataneke can actually look at how to actually sort him out in that area. For me, I think it's not really about ability. He drifts in and out of the game. If you observe very well, he does not stay in the game. He drifts in and out of the game compared to when he was in Genk. He's so alert, like 70 minutes. But in Offenham now, he just look disengaged. Maybe he's thinking about baby crying, I don't know. But he's just so disengaged it's not connecting very well. And in the game, in the top five European league, you cannot drift in and drift
You
out.
cannot disengage for 1 minute or even 1 second. Sef.
Go with trouble. So maybe the bench might be better now. You'll be thinking what you want to be thinking. So
Mm.
that let him relax. And I think it's go. I just pray for him to escape relegation. Then he goes going to achieve what he's going to come back stronger.
And I mean, he has signed a 5-year deal with them. So he
Yeah.
better make it. And I think he's one of those players that maybe he's kind of on his last, if not maybe he's second to the last straw, because things did not go well in Lyon. I
Mm-hmm.
remember we spoke about this and said that his next move is a very important move. That's why we were happy when he was scoring goals at the beginning for Hoffenheim. But if
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden this, and this is the same way Lyon decided were playing him at first, all of a sudden they just lost faith in him and said they're tired. If Hoffenheim get tired again, it's going to be hard for teams to continue to say, let's take a chance, let's take a chance.
Yeah.
Because now Hoffenheim now they're committed to 5 years of paying him salary. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be looking at it that why would they pay this guy salary if you know really they contribute anything? I
Yeah.
mean, they are 5 points clear of relegation, so I believe that they should be able to stay up.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they lost three of their last four games. Maybe because they are losing games now, they consider them against.
they'll
Say those ones
consider him again, maybe.
are not doing well.
But I mean, I really just hope that things improve
Yeah.
for him in his whole situation, because this is a guy that how many years ago was banging in fastest hat trick in the Conference League. Everybody was excited for him, talking about his future. He got a call up to the Super Eagles, and that's the thing with football, man. Football is such a
Mm-hmm.
today you're on top of the world. I know be where they talk say I don't want to go to Arsenal. I don't want to go to Arsenal. Now say
You know,
Arsenal they find you.
and IoT, to be fair to Kit Orban too, is the third highest scorer for Hoffenheim.
Because Hoffenheim now they know they play anything now.
Oh, because the highest goal scorer is actually what seven. Okay, sorry, the fourth because Kamari scored 11.
Primary
They
has 11.
scored 11 goals. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Well, technically he's fifth because
yeah,
Kramaric has 11. Horosek has 7. Bischoff
yeah,
and Bolta have 5 each.
five.
Then he has 4.
Yeah,
But the person after him is 2. So nobody say they're not the score normal for that for that club.
yes,
But I mean, I really hope that things turn out well for him, man. Like, and that's the thing, just thinking about when he made that comment some years ago. That's why I think we're talking about this on OJB's live yesterday. Is sometimes it's very easy for a player to think that they've arrived
yeah,
because things are going well for him, and I feel like he thought he had arrived. He thought, and then now all of a sudden life is humbling him. But I
yeah.
really do hope that his fortunes change. I really do hope that his fortunes change.
I hope
Um,
I hope so for him too.
okay, okay. Let us keep the conversation going. And let us end the wrap up of Nigerian players' performances with a positive one. Shout out to goalkeeper Author Okonkwo. Author Okonkwo promoted back to back with Wrexham. Wrexham have now earned their spot in the EFL Championship for next season. Okonkwo, I believe, has 18 clean sheets this season. Has been very good in goal for Wrexham. Very impressive. He's one of those players that personally I think he's more of a championship level goalkeeper, not a League One goalkeeper. So I'm not surprised that he has done very well with them. But going up another level, he has come into the forefront of Nigerian fans now. People have been talking about him. People are now starting to say, "Oh, Super Eagles! Oh, Super Eagles!" But Smith Layi, before we talk about his Super Eagles potential, how do you see his promotion to the championship with Wrexham?
That's what you said. It's good to have a good team, working around you. They see a clear goal. When it was in LASK in the Austrian League, I think it was close to playing the Europa
Yeah.
League or so. So why would you leave? Why would you leave Austria? Go to League One. I mean, it was in League Two then. What's wrong with you? How will you do that? Go to League Two. What is wrong with you? Stay in Austria, perform well, do well. But because of the vision, this Western Monarchs they
Mm.
had there, it was there. He actually we won promotion to League One. It was I think it was named League Two goalkeeper of the season. So and they also won promotion again to what? To the championship, two back-to-back promotions. So they might stay for a while in the championship before going to the Premier League. But this is impressive. I will not be surprised if they make the playoff
Next year. I mean,
next year.
because
But this is
Wrexham is a team that they have good ownership, they are investing, they have the money to buy some quality players. And
yes,
who knows,
yes.
maybe they can convince some of the Leicester boys, some of the Southampton boys. Oh,
Lookman is
really?
joining them.
So if they
Yeah.
can convince some of these good players, because the truth is that the Wrexham squad, like because of the clout that they have, they were able to get good players that might not necessarily have been somebody like J. Rodriguez, for example. J. Rodriguez is on the older
Mm,
side now, but this is a guy that played years in the Premier League, played years in the Championship, and then went to go and play with them
mm,
in League One. It's because they have the pull
yeah.
and the money to be able to still attract somebody like that to join their
Yeah.
project. They have some other players that, frankly, James McLean, old guy, but
Uh-huh.
has a lot of experience at a high level, so they were able to attract players that are better than League One. So maybe they might
Yeah.
be able to attract some
Lookman.
of the top championship guys. Who knows? Maybe they can even call
Guys,
Onuachu to come and come and play up front. Who knows?
go and play up
I mean,
front.
if they get promoted next season, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
a massive, massive achievement. Like
It's going to be
back
a
to
massive
back to
achievement.
back to
They should
back
work.
promotion, just like that, all the way to the top of the pyramid. It will be incredible.
Yes.
But regardless, it's something that anybody that is a part of this should be happy about. They've done very, very
Yeah.
well. And of course,
I'm
yeah.
happy for
And
them.
Okonkwo has played a key role. So, all due credits to him. Congratulations on that. But Milai, let's talk about
Yeah.
it. People are now calling and saying that Super Eagles, why has the NFF not called him? Blah blah blah. Things like that. How do you assess that situation? Should he really be considered for the Super Eagles, or is it too early?
It's not too heavy. It might even be super ego as far in
Hmm.
next month. But I don't think it's too early. That is not areas that we are spoiled for choices. You know that we have our first choice in South Africa. We do respect to him. He was so good on our last of but in this competition, one of the things that I didn't like about Okonkwo was his handling of the ball. He doesn't have strong hands. But what I saw last season, it's like the guy went to go and do some gym work. Oh. He was 18 clean hits. He hands like, strong on the ball and everything. So I was really impressed. So Super Eagles is a different kettle of fish. I'm like to you. If he's coming, he should start with the friendly game. It does not require clearance to play for Nigeria. It does not require change of nationality to play for Nigeria. It just needs to get his Nigerian passport and actually play. He has not played for England in any competitive game, any competitive
Hmm.
at under age. Only played at under 16 or so, for England. So he's ready to actually want to play for Nigeria. So if the coach seems and talk to him and think that he's fit, okay, why can't you bring him? I have like four goalkeepers, that can compete with Stanley Wabali. And you know that okay, Wabali cannot just sit down on the pitch and be drinking gum saying that nobody's going to compete with me. When you have Maduka Okoye, in Indonesia, I think he kept a clean sheet too on Monday. When you also see Okonkwo, I think clean sheet, you see Noah Tubolu, these are guys that can compete. So for me, I think it's not bad for him to as well start with this.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows? I think when I think of this, I feel like it's a bit of I'm kind of on the fence about his inclusion potential in the Super Eagles. So now I think that Nigerian fans always tend to be victims of new shiny toy syndrome. We hear about a player
Mm-hmm.
that we were not really looking at before. All of a sudden, the player is doing well. Boom! Oh, call him Super Eagles. Call him Super Eagles. So I feel like people are getting too excited about what he might be, because
Mm-hmm.
realistically, we remember when Omar Bali was linked with, was it Cardiff and some of these other things. We were talking about like how would our
Only,
this
only,
was back then now after the AFCON. But
okay.
we're talking about like how would our first choice goalkeeper, how would our keeper be in League One, things like that. It was not really a level that people wanted to see him play. Now, this is a League
Mm-hmm.
One, now championship goalkeeper that people are getting excited about because he has had a very good season. He's a good
Mm-hmm.
goalkeeper. He's a young boy. He's 23 years old. So you still expect him to improve and become much better. But I think that people are
Mm-hmm.
also getting a bit too excited. I think that, yes, shows that he's very good at League One level, but we need to see that he can do it at an even higher level than that, because playing for the Super Eagles is no small thing. The pressure, the expectations, etc. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think people are getting a bit excited early, but like you also mentioned, we are not sports for choice at that level. The reason why I say it is we've ignored in the past. We've ignored goalkeepers that play in Switzerland. We've ignored goalkeepers that play in Sweden. We haven't really looked their way. Now, maybe because he is much younger and we're seeing him, if it's for the Unity Cup where every Tom, Dick, and Harry that is close enough can attend, of course, let him get a chance. He'll probably, if I don't know if Maduka will be there, I don't know who's if Nwabali will be there, but let him get a chance, at the Unity Cup. For me, I guess I'm just not that excited. I've been following him for the past
Uh,
4 years. I agree that he has really, really improved this season, but
mhm.
I'm not as excited as many people. We don't. But
uh,
I do believe that, with all due respect, he's better than the options that we have from the MPFL.
it's better than the one we got from Tanzania.
And yes, yes, I was counting him as MPFL.
So I don't say that you come as a first choice. It should also come to the team. And it's not everybody that will first choice, just to come to the team. And because now you are calling a bench warmer in the MPFL to come and be super good. So I'm sorry to say he's a very good friend. But he's a bench warmer in the MPFL. You call the bench warmer in the MPFL to come and be super good. So why won't you call this one? With due respect to the guy you're talking about, he's not a good goalkeeper.
Mm.
He's not a good goalkeeper. All the hype, let's just leave the hype one play. I've monitored him very well. He's not a good goalkeeper. The day the guy will reign, he will reign them to the cat and dog.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see. I mean, I think for me, I guess I'm just the kind of person that I always feel like Super Eagles should be reserved for the best of the best. But again, like I said, I also agree that we don't really have many goalkeeper options that are quality. So if he's one of the goalkeeper options, if he's coming to be third choice behind Nwabali and Maduka, I can't hate on that. I can't hate on that. If he's coming to be
Yeah.
third choice, come and learn, come and understudy, and maybe
Yeah.
if he does very well in the championship, does gets promoted to Premier League, who knows, But it'll be good for us to be able to have multiple goalkeepers that can really compete at that level. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. Because right now we know that with Maduka out of the squad of late, Nwabali has just been coasting.
Yeah.
Those two other boys, they follow him, they look up to him, they're not really competing with him at all. But shout out to him, Shout out to him. He's a good player. Somebody said I'm hard to impress. Maybe I'm just hard to impress. But I'm like, let's see how it goes. Somebody mentioned Joshua Oluwayemi as a potential goalkeeper option. I've been following and watching him very closely. If you subscribe to our Patreon, where I post breakdowns and reviews and highlights of Nigerian players on Patreon, I've been highlighting Joshua Oluwayemi's games a lot. Oluwayemi is not a very, very good goalkeeper, I must say. Um, his distribution is not great. He's prone to an error, is like a Sanchez. Maybe not every game type of error, but bear in mind, Sanchez is playing in England, he is playing in Australia, where the game is a lot slower, a lot less pressure, and he still makes mistakes here and there. Does he make some good saves? Yes, he does. He had 8 saves this past weekend. Maybe 3 of them were easy saves, but the remaining 5 were quality saves, regardless of who he's playing against. I just don't see him as somebody that can really come and compete with the people that we currently have. Whereas I believe that also Okonkwo, with a bit more games under his belt, he can potentially compete and it will be a reliable third choice. For us to have 3 reliable choices will be something that is very interesting now because we've not really had that for a long time. So I wouldn't call Joshua Oluwayemi. If I'm as much as I'm saying Okonkwo is not exciting me, Oluwayemi is exciting me even less. That's the honest truth. Um, Okay, but yeah, shout out to Arthur Okonkwo on his promotion with AFC Wrexham. Fantastic story, very very good club, very good management. Okay, let us talk about some other transfers and potential transfers. Smilai, for this one, should we start with positive or negative?
Let's start with the
Okay,
positives.
Smilai
Let's do the
likes
next.
good news first. Me, I usually like bad news first, but let's start with positives. Ibrahim Aliyu, young Nigerian forward, has joined Columbus Crew in the MLS. Of course, he was already playing in the MLS. He was playing for Houston Dynamo, and he has now moved to Columbus Crew. The way the system works in the USA, they can just transfer you without your without your say so, because the way it works there, every player is not owned by the club. The player is owned by the league.
Okay.
The league
Okay.
is leasing your rights to the club, essentially. So that's the
Okay.
reason why they have trade system. Your club can just go and trade it and say, "Ah, give me some money, yeah, take this, take that." Boom. Before you know it, they tell you to pack your bags, you're going to a different team. So that's what happened to him. I'm wishing him all the best in his new adventure. He was a decent player for Dynamo, even though he lost his place in the squad and his performances started dropping in the past season. So hopefully he can revive himself in a new city, playing with new fans, you know. And yeah, hopefully things go well for him. I know that some people like him. I know some journalists that have been big on him in the past. I think he's a good player for that level. I will say that he's a good player for that level. He left Europe pretty early because he left Europe I think at 22 or 21. But you know, security of playing in the America, making good money in the US, way more than he was making in Europe. And also future for his family, for himself. I mean, um, Humble Larry will say, no, he has potential, don't go. But at the end of the day, who knows, man? Who knows? Sometimes you have to think about some other things. TC Gogo, I see your question. I'll come to it later. I've noted it to come back to it later, just because you're talking about Super Eagles and we've not yet reached there in the conversation. Okay, Smilai, anything to say on Ibrahim Aliyu's move?
Yeah. It's jumping fences. I mean, how would I call it? So it's good for him to move. At least anything that concerns the MLS. Me, I don't like to put my mouth on the MLS. It's their things. I wish them the very best of luck. I play. Let's just continue to play. Now they play well. I wish them the very best of luck. When we come play in America and we don't get player complete, we will call them.
Okay, okay. Still, let's stick in the US. Let's stick in the US. Same thing happened to another Nigerian player. William Agada was transferred to Real Salt Lake from Sporting Kansas City. William Agada is a player that had a fine season, I think a year or two ago for Sporting Kansas City in the MLS. Was the club's top goal scorer that season. And then unfortunately for him, he suffered an injury, which eventually led to him losing his place in the squad. And then now the club have deemed him surplus to requirements and they moved him on. So yes, he has joined Real Salt Lake City. Hopefully he can pick up from there. He already made his debut over the weekend. Wasn't able to score after coming off the bench, but hopefully there's more positives to come for him in the future. Smilai, anything here? You said they want to talk about MLS.
He should continue to do well. He had a good season. He continues to do well. See, the good thing about it is that if you are doing well there and you know exactly that you can still come back to Europe, come, let's see you again. But for me, I can't just wake up in the middle of the night and watch MLS.
Mm.
I'm sorry about that. I've always follow you when you post the how they are doing. That is what I do. Because I can't just begin at 3 a.m. and be watching MLS. So I just, I wish him also the very best of luck. We're happy to see. I'm happy that our players are doing well in the MLS. At least if you come walk up, who will host us?
I mean,
We will have to
I
because
mean,
they
but
host
to be
us.
honest, the
Because,
biggest appeal in the MLS is the financial part. Is I think when you look at the
yeah.
financial part, and we're Africans, you look at the potential of a future living in the US when you're done. That's the biggest
Mm,
appeal. Ibrahim Aliyu that we spoke about, his salary before any bonuses is $501,000 US dollars. He
mm,
wasn't getting that kind of money in
mm,
Europe. So that's a
mm,
very big appeal. Agada, who we're talking about, is $521,000 before any bonuses. If we look at somebody like Obina
mm,
Nwobodo, makes $1.4 million before any bonuses. He wasn't
mm,
getting that
mm,
kind of money. We talk about Alassane Yusuf makes $895,000 before any bonuses or anything like that. Awaziem makes $1.2 million before any bonuses or anything like that. So that Awaziem that was even playing for Boa Vista, where they know they pay salary, for him to go and make 1.2 million a year. And by the time they add all your
yeah.
bonuses, everything, maybe it can come up to like 1.3 or something. You know, it's that's one of the biggest
Mm,
appeals. And then just the potential of okay, if you get your green card when you're done playing, you can let your families settle in the US, even though Dona wants to change one or two things. But Typically, that's one of the biggest appeals. So while I agree that the MLS is not an exciting league to watch, even I, when I go and watch the games live here, it's not the most exciting. I understand why certain Nigerian players take the opportunity. Even the Northern Super League, the women's league that started in Canada, I went to watch a game this past weekend where Ngozi Okobi's team played against Esther Okoronkwo's team. And you would wonder that this Canada league, the league only has 6 teams. Why would the Super Falcons player go there? You know why? But at the end of the day, women's football, especially where they don't pay them anything, in this new Canadian league, they are earning more than what they pay in Europe, in all the Norways, in even in some clubs in Spain, in some clubs in France, and at the end of the day, a lot of people want that financial security. A lot of people want to be safe, especially with the women's players because they don't earn a lot normal. If you hear what some players, some Super Falcons players, if you hear what they make as salaries, you that are working office job, you are making more than them. But because you see them on TV, you see them, you think, oh, superstar, you think they're making money. So I'm not too surprised that certain players make certain moves. And then another transfer that happened within the USA, but this one is not an MLS transfer. It is a USL transfer, the second division in the USA. Ogenyi Onazi, former Super Eagles midfielder. I mean, he has not officially retired, so maybe I shouldn't call him former. But Ogenyi Onazi has joined Charlotte Independent in the USA USL. He has officially become the first ever player to play in the World Cup that will play in that league. Normally, the league does not see that kind of quality of player. Ogenyi Onazi, they were very excited to have him. No, I might be wrong here. Did Ivory Coast play in the World Cup with Didier Drogba? Did Drogba play in the World Cup? If Drogba did, then maybe he's the second, not the first. But I know that I think the club said he was the first. But I have to verify that. But is the a player with his CV usually doesn't come to this kind of league, so they are very excited to have him. You know,
Yeah.
but I think for me, most of all, I'm happy to just see Onazi playing football. I've spoken to him behind the scenes a couple of times. You can tell that he is a man who just he doesn't enjoy doing much other than playing football and maybe playing his keyboard and just enjoying himself. So
Mm-hmm.
for him to be out of the game, it doesn't, is body go just they scratch you, say you want to get on the field. So at this point for him, it's not about money. There's no money in the USL like that. It's just about going somewhere that he can just stay active, keep
Mm-hmm.
playing, and maybe earn another Super Eagles cap.
Mm-hmm.
Plus we like okay, you're Nazi to Charlotte Independence. What do you think about that?
Like you say, he wants to enjoy himself. He should just keep on enjoying himself. There's no really big football in in the USL. Somebody said he's joining unknown government team. Which I think is slightly what disrespect to on if a player that played the World Cup before. So for me, if I'm not advising, you should go enjoy Red Monsters.
Mm.
It's gonna be, you see, in fact, it's gonna be part of the business. It's gonna be giving them advice. It's gonna be playing even apart from playing, it's gonna be playing like a key role in that team.
Mm.
Honestly, so for me, that's what I should advise him. I'm happy he's back playing. He's back playing. She has he announced his
Not
retirement from
officially,
Super
no.
Eagles? Okay, not officially. Okay, I think he should announce it so that a lot of people will just leave him on, so of course
Mm.
on his club
Mm.
career.
So Adeotun said Drogba played World Cup in 2006. Okay, so
That's what I'm saying.
Onazi will be the second player that has played in the World Cup that will come and play in that league. And the only reason why Drogba played in that league is because he was part owner of the club. So the club that he
Yeah.
owned, he just decided that he wants to play for them and just help them to boost their sales, their marketing,
Uh-huh.
tickets, and all those things. But for Onazi, I think it's
Uh-huh.
just an opportunity for him to just stay active, keep playing football. The last season that he played was 23-24. He was in Serie D. Before that he was in Bahrain. So you can kind of see that this move is not a money move, it's not a top level, "Oh, let me
Mhm.
move to a big club." It's just let me make a try to play ball. And who knows? Potentially,
Mhm.
maybe I think Onazi is an Italian citizen, even so. I don't know if he has to even worry about that. Maybe he doesn't want to live in Italy. Who knows? But I think he just wants to play football. And for me, a player that gets to play football, I can't hate on it. Obviously, it's not a big move that we're getting hype about,
Mhm.
but congratulations to him. Okay. Smilai said we should start with the good news. So we're going to take one negative now. This is a
Mhm.
Super Eagles player. He has not been part of the team for a long time, but he has not retired either. So he's a Super Eagles player. I'm talking about Henry Onyekuru. Henry Onyekuru has
Mhm.
had a tough time in recent years since moving to Al Fayha in Saudi. Saudi is a league that people think that, oh, someone of his level should just go there and thrive and kick it and enjoy himself. But with injuries and with some subpar performances when he's been fit, things have not quite worked out for him. And unfortunately, he has only recently just undergone another surgery. And now the news of this surgery has really, really upset the Saudi contingent, the fans of Al Fayha. When the club announced his surgery, I was on Twitter translating all the comments because they are typing in Arabic. I was translating all the comments. People were saying so many negative things that, oh, since we signed this guy, now just we're just spending money on his salary, we're just helping him go to the hospital. He has barely played for them. When he has played, he has barely contributed. And one thing with Onyekuru is that Onyekuru they flex in, he posts his luxury, living his good life. So for the fans of the club, they're just like, we're just bankrolling this guy's luxury life, and he's not contributing anything to us. Other other clubs in Saudi are using their international sports to sign quality players. They are buying players that are really helping the growth of their team and helping the team to compete. But for Al Fayha, they continue to struggle, and one of their most highest paid players is not contributing anything to them. So it is something that is really, really bothering them. And every season they are in a relegation fight while they are paying him some millions of euros to play for them. Onyekuru is only 27 years old, but injuries have been a common theme in his career. Smilai, what do you think about this?
Mhm.
If he cannot stay fit, should he call it a day? Or should he just find another move to maybe UAE or somewhere? What do you think is the whole situation with Henry Okoro?
For me, it's another player that I think he has been unlucky with injury actually. Because it's not been lucky with injury because I realized that he was about to even make the World Cup team. He's not 18 World Cup. If you remember, it was playing for. I think he was playing for Anderlecht then in Belgium. He had a very good season with. Is he
Cass
Open?
Ifem.
Is he Open? That's Open, yeah, in Belgium. So, but he's just a guy that cannot just stay fit. That's the major problem. It was so good for Galatasaray too, just like Victor Osimhen. It's like he took them to Super League title, but it's just someone that cannot stay fit. And all these clubs now, for example, now our friend Google tells me something about a player. They are calling him, you are as big, you are fat, you are. I don't want to mention the player's name. He plays in the championship. He just got on loan move to championship this January. So he was singing in his dream. Eh? He was his name they were calling. Is it the cause of their problem? That is how all these fans get agitated when they get a player and they expect a lot from the player and they cannot actually get that
Mm.
from that player. It's not that business that cannot stay fit. So for me, just like the way Chelsea they abuse these games, they will come for you if you are not even doing well. So it's sad, but I think that if you ask Onyeko to leave today, he go somewhere again,
Mm.
go sign, and he go to vibe his life. That's one thing. I just think that they should take it easy slightly too, because if you are not playing well now and you are doing all these things, might close the door for a Nigerian player coming tomorrow. You'll be thinking that he has a similar lifestyle to you. So I just think that you just need to look for a way to stay fit. Look at Usman Dembele now. He used to get injured, nearly on a regular basis. Look at the way he's performing currently now because he changed his lifestyle slightly. He doesn't stay up playing video games again. So so he sleeps well. He's married. He does all these things right. So it could be those small things that Onyekuru need to
Mm.
actually what change, and he will back to full fitness. For example, now, how many games did Victor Osimhen miss this window? He plays majority of the games. To tell you that he's looking for a way to get fit. And kudos to the Gala medics too.
Mm. Mm. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I hate seeing players plagued with injuries. I've spoken to so many different Nigerian players, and one thing that they always say is that the worst thing is when you're not able to play, you're not able to help your team. So it's unfortunate for
Mhm.
him. I just think that even before he joined Al Fayha in Adana Demirspor, he was playing there with Babajide Akintola, and even then Akintola was
Mhm.
outshining him. So maybe for a number of years now, injury or no injury, Onyekuru hasn't quite been at his best. He's one of those players that, with all due respect to him, I think it's fair to say that he peaked early. He picked early,
Mhm.
a lot of hype on him. Monaco couldn't quite cut it. Everton couldn't quite cut it. Olympiacos couldn't quite cut it. It's just that Turkey, that Galatasaray, that was where he really, really showed himself. And every other club, he wasn't quite able to live up to the expectation. And then, of course, in Saudi, where you expect him to just go and be drinking goals and getting assists and everything, had some flashes, but hasn't been able to cut it as well. And then, of course, the injuries haven't made it any better for him. But I wish him all the best. I hope that he's able to recover fairly quickly. He's obviously going to miss the rest of this season. Um, and, back again next season, hopefully fully fit, and we'll see what he can do. But it was just very, very sad when I was translating all the comments and seeing the way the fans were upset and insulting him and saying that he's just stealing their money, he's stealing a living, all those kinds of things. It's not nice to see. I just don't like to see comments like that about Nigerian players, whether it's a player that I'm in front of or not. Because we want our players to all be doing well, regardless of the level that they are playing at. But yes, wishing him all the very best. Okay, Smidlai, let us talk about some potential transfers for Nigerian players. As you guys know, we're in April. Season is about to end. Every day, every week, we're going to be hearing about transfers. And of course, some Nigerian players' names keep on coming up. Some have been there for a long time, some are coming up, new. But I highlighted three players in particular that have been linked to moves in this past week, and I want us to talk about them. The first player is a player that we spoke about earlier in the show, a player that has been performing in Belgium this season. So, like, we saw the reports. Even our friend OJB also shared the report that Tolu Arokodare is being monitored. I think you even posted it on your story as well. Is being monitored
Mhm.
by FC Bayern Munchen, the incumbent, or is it incumbent, or the incoming champions of Germany.
Mhm.
What do you have to say about this? Tolu Arokodare to Bayern Munich. Is this a good move?
So,
Do you believe that is a move that can happen? What are your thoughts?
no, it's a move that there's a conversation. There's been a conversation about it. So that's the reason why the guy posted it. It's a guy that is a is very good source in German football. He seems to get all these information from Stuttgart. He's well connected. So I think there's been a conversation about it that they want a backup for Harry Kane. There's no backup for him this season, and he had to play so many games. So he got to a stage that they were chasing is he what's the this is a Copa game, also Champions League and the league title. So you get to see that he got one down that he wasn't performing at his best again. So they are looking for a player that can be on the bench and also play in some of those games the way they use Choupo-Moting, and they realize that they create a lot of opportunities and he's someone that can finish. If you create, so they also got okay, why can't we go for like a cheaper option that if Genk can play balls with them, they can pay for Arokodare and they can get him. So Bayern seems to be a likely destination for him. And also there's been Dortmund wanted to get him too, but they wanted to sell Cyril Gerasi because Serage, if you remember, I think he was the top scorer this year's UEFA Champions League. He scored that against Barcelona, scoring like no man's business. So they wanted to get rid of him, but in that case, getting Tolu is like at the first choice, which I think is going to be a big, big, he's going to be too heavy on this. Midfielder for a club like what, like Dortmund. But don't forget that they've signed Aubameyang from Seletine then too. They signed some players that they have became superstar, at the long run. So and also there's also VSV to get too. They also look for. I don't really know much about what they are looking to get from Tolu, but looking at Bayern look like a likely option because Thomas Muller is leaving this summer, and it's like the backup for Harry Kane, this summer. So and Harry Kane is not getting older, so I think the Bayern Munich move might actually what happen if it does not ask for big salary.
Hmm.
Yes.
I can't even lie. When I first saw the reports, with all due respect to him, I thought it was one of those, may your agent just put out something so that you just generate some buzz around you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like Tolu. He's a young boy that I've been following since his Latvian days.
Mm-hmm.
He has improved so much as a player,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see him as a player that can make an impact for Bayern Munich yet. I don't think he is that good yet. Keyword yet. I think he has potential. I think he can improve. I just don't think he's that good yet. And Bayern Munich, maybe like you said, maybe they are looking for a cheap option. But I'm just trying to imagine if I was the sporting director of Bayern Munich. So we want a backup for Harry Kane. Then we are going to sign a player who has played in this league before and flopped, played in French League 2 and flopped, and then in 3 seasons in Belgium, he's finally able to show that he has some quality in the third season. Then all of a sudden, Bayern think if Harry Kane is not there, that is the guy that would do the job for us. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not quite convinced that Bayern would really, really want to sign someone of his quality. Not that he's a bad player, but Bayern Munich is a top club and is a club that aims to always compete in the Champions League and in the league.
Mm-hmm.
For me, other than his finishing, like you said, the rest of his game is not quite up to par to play at a club like that. There's a pressure of playing in a big club.
Mm-hmm.
There's the expectation if you are coming to replace, you are saying Thomas Muller. Muller is legend in Bayern Munich. So
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really see how Tolu is going to come and fit in properly. You mentioned that Bayern has in the past signed players like Choupo-Moting, etc. But even those Choupo-Motings, before they signed him, his track record showed that he could score goals for multiple seasons for different clubs. Even though he was playing in the Stoke cities and everything, it was still showing that he can score goals. And that's the reality. Like, he showed for a number of years. This is the first year, other than when he was in Latvia, this is the first year that Arokodare is showing that he can actually score goals. Is that 1 year enough to convince Bayern Munich? Maybe. But for
Okay.
me, I'm just like, huh, I'll be quite surprised. You know, Another thing that I would say is that it depends on what he is also chasing in his career at this point. Does he want to go to a team that can almost guarantee that he's going to win trophies, which is Bayern Munich? Or does he want to go to a team that will allow him to play and continue to improve his reputation and his stock? Because he's not going to bench Harry Kane. there's no if but maybe ands about it. Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to bench Harry Kane. Maybe DFB Pokal, they can play him. When they're chasing a goal and they want to bring on a second striker, they can bring him on. When Harry Kane gets injured, they can bring him on to play. But other than that, with the hype that he's currently getting, being the top goal scorer in Belgium, is it not better for him to go to a club that he can actually start and be their key player and see if he can improve his stock? I know that Bayern will probably pay, if he joins Bayern Munich, they can pay him maybe even 50K per week to just sit on their bench. But is that what he wants for himself? I mean, only he can answer. I don't know what kind of ambition he has. I saw a report today that he said, oh, his dream is to play in the Premier League. I don't necessarily think that going to sit on Bayern Munich's bench is going to help him to achieve that dream.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he's to join Leeds United or if he's to join this thing, I think you have a better chance of improving your stock as a player than going to play on the bench at Bayern. But of course, playing for Bayern Munich is a big opportunity, big club. you get to play with big players. You know, imagine Michael Olise they deliver ball for you. As Tolu, you go just they smile, just the head balling, just the tap balling, they finish chances, you win the Bundesliga, you compete in the Champions League. It's a big opportunity.
Mhm.
It's just an opportunity that, with all due respect to him, I just don't know if it is the right one for him to take. And I just don't know if it's an opportunity that he's ready for. I hope that he believes he is, because at the end of the day, even if IoT does not believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. I just found it interesting, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I think if the link is real, if Bayern Munich are indeed having a conversation about him, it only just goes to speak about the good work that he's doing in Genk this season, and hopefully he can continue to raise his stock, score a couple more goals before the season ends. Maybe win the Ebony Shoe Award that he's nominated for alongside Rafael Onyedika, and from there the potential is there. It's just that obviously it's not the first Nigerian player that will shine at Genk,
Mhm.
and the next step is something that is very, very, very important.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think he's better than Rafi Durosimi?
All round football player, no. As an all round football player, no. Rafi Durosimi is better on the ball. Rafi Durosimi has better movement, probably even better finishing.
Rafi Durosimi is
Rafi Durosimi is a better player. Not that I mean, because I'm thinking, I say movement, I say better on the ball, I say finishing. Waiting now remain again. Okay, Arokodare is better in the air. You
okay.
can give him that.
All those means time jump.
But he has still scored more goals with his head, so you can give him that.
Mhm.
Durosimi just needs that platform to really shine. Unfortunately, his injury slowed him down. But when I assess the two of them, when I think about it, I think Durosimi is a better striker, to be honest. But obviously, it doesn't mean that Arokodare is not good. It doesn't mean that Arokodare might not do well in his career. I'm just saying that right now, to go and sit on Bayern Munich's bench. Somebody is saying Kane is getting old. Kane is going to play 4 more seasons, I guarantee you. Is
Mhm.
Yes, he's on the older side, but there's old that you can see that, oh yeah, this guy is already declining, and there's old that, yes, he's still giving you the outputs. So there's nothing to make you think or believe that Kane is all of a sudden just going to drop off.
Yeah.
He's still delivering.
Yeah. Okay. I think someone just mentioned something about my friend could say that let's sign the defender from Ikorodu in Ngenge. I beg you should stop reporting all these things. That's how they say that there's one more that signed for KPR. What's the one? Agada, Charles Agada. It's a lie.
Mm,
They just like to report all those things on the media. In Nigeria, they see
mm.
people. Who is the source? On Nigeria, sorry, I don't want to mention his name. Uh, it's just funny. It's just funny. I've tried to investigate that. There's no really substance in the Genge going to Leeds.
Mm,
So
mm. TC Gogo says, I hope they give him a big salary to warm that bench. Talking about Tolu Kodare's potential move to Bayern Munich.
mhm,
Means if I hope that at least if he's going to warm the bench, if they give him 50K a week,
mhm,
he'll be happy with it. He will gladly warm the bench and live his big boy life. Because Arokodare is a guy that likes to be flashy and enjoy enjoy himself. But yeah, let's see how that one goes. Sha. I think it's a big link, and it's just watch that space. Watch that space. See how it goes for the rest of the season. Okay, let us move on to another transfer rumor that has come up within the past few days. Our very own African player of the year, Ademola Lookman, has been linked with a move to one of the clubs that is still contending on several fronts this season. We are hearing that FC Barcelona are interested in his services. Smilai, Ademola Lookman to Barcelona, would this be a good move for him? And is it an opportunity that you think he should take?
mhm. So you just correct myself totally about that Genge. It's like there's truth in that. But the issue is that I just don't know where the source is. That's what the reason I can see, but I can see I can just link the story to a particular, somebody reporting it. That's
Mm,
just let me just correct myself about that. It could be true, it could be false, but there's no. I like to know the source where the story is coming from. So if the player never signed like this, all those things are still rumors. That's why I'm just trying to comment about that.
Hmm.
So, IoT, talking about Lookman, and this thing has been, you know, is what we have been hearing for so long, since Rafinha has been talking about Saudi Arabia's, move and everything, and it's not looking as if he's joining, what's it called, Nico Williams is joining Barcelona, very soon. I think Atletico Madrid wants the head of a cow, to be able to sell Nico Williams to Barcelona. So I think they're looking for Lookman. So one thing I like about this is that Lookman will improve under this manager. The
Answer.
Rafinha,
Hmm.
as a player, the Rafinha that we used to know in playing for Leeds is different from the Rafinha that plays for what?
Barca.
For Barcelona currently now. The Yamal that we used to know is different from the one we know now. So we
Hmm.
have, I would say it's still the same.
Right.
If you look at Robert Lewandowski, you realize that there is so many to his game now. You look at his movement, look at the way he arrives in the box. I know that he score goals, but his control and everything. There's something different about a 36-year-old player, I mean 36-year-old now, that is doing so well. So this guy will improve them. The condition and everything will improve them. So I'm happy if the man says that okay, he wants Lookman. It's going to benefit Nigeria. It's going to benefit what Barca, because he sees that a guy that can actually really help the team. He's not helping Barca now because they have two left-footed players playing their wings. Both Rafinha and Yamal, they're more comfortable playing on the left wing. So Rafinha will now sacrifice to play on the no. Yamal play on the right. Rafinha plays on the left. So it's now going to be like a big subject for Rafinha to play when his favorite position is actually what is also on the right. So Lookman coming on the left will really actually help them. So for me, I think he's just going to take the slot of Ansu Fati. I mean, probably what Rafinha. But I think Rafinha is talking about moving to Saudi Arabia.
No, but Rafinha, only after they won the Copa del Rey, he
Mm-hmm.
said that if the Saudi offer had come 1 year ago, that he would have probably taken it. But right now, he is only thinking about winning, and he
Mm-hmm.
has hope
Yeah.
because Hansi Flick has restored the hope in him. This is
Yeah.
the guy that people are talking about potentially winning the Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his belief, his ginger has come back.
Mm-hmm.
If he joins Barcelona, look what I'm talking about now. Will he start? That's my. I think for me, that's my major concern because there is no reason why Lookman should go and be a bench warmer or a second choice at any club. Would he start?
Let,
Yamal is Yamal. Nobody's benching Yamal. And
mm-hmm.
then Rafinha, with the way he's playing this season, it will be tough for them to just take him out because he's doing very very well. Unless you want to say that Lookman is going to take the spot of Dani Olmo somehow, which I don't necessarily see happening. So where is he going to fit in Barca if he joins? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's going to be on the left side. I think that there's one thing that did not really work out Barcelona is rotation. They don't, have the depth to actually to rotate well. That's why they have to force them to play Ansu Fati, and that team wearing number 10, Messi's number 10 jersey. So for me, I think that Lookman can play. It's just for you to it's going to give the team new direction. So I think we might not be having Rafinha playing all the time. He might actually and so far, he might just come and actually play. Look at this guy, Gavi. People that say, oh, he's not, but he's still playing an important role, for Barcelona this season. So despite that, his pedigree is ahead of him. So for me, the team is well balanced. So we cannot say that a player. For example, look at Arayo. Arano is still playing. He's still coming on for that small boy, Pau Kubasi. What's it called? Kubasi.
Yeah, Kubarsi.
Kubasi. So you can see that people are happy. It's like so. I don't think there is going to be anything. Look at the boy, Gerard Martin. He's still playing, despite that Balde, when he was there, Gerard Martin is still playing. Though that like, he cannot keep offside, but he's still playing. So for me, I don't actually see that Lookman is going to be a bench. It might take him time to integrate, but I don't going to go get there.
Hmm, hmm. I mean, I don't know. For me, I just think it's tricky, sha, because even if it's a rotation thing, I don't want a case whereby if Rafinha hits form, all of a sudden Lookman is now going three straight matches on the bench, coming on to give us the last 15 minutes of game. Yamal is Yamal, so Yamal is untouchable right now. So it's only him and Rafinha that will be competing for that one spot. I just think it's too much of a risk, man. If he wants to join any team, he needs to join a team that he knows that he's going to play. He's going to be a key player. And I know that one of the implications of joining a team like Barca is that everybody is a good player.
Hmm.
So your spot can easily be won by somebody else. But still, man, as much as I think Barcelona is a big club that competes every year, I think for me, look, man, I would say look at what your options are really and analyze and see what's best for you. I don't want to see a whole African best going to chop bench because you mentioned Ansu Fati, but I mean, is it not chicken change minutes Ansu Fati is getting? But I mean, I agree. Ansu Fati is not nothing to write home about, but still, if Rafinha keeps on performing, it will be tough for Lookman to get into the side. It will be tough. And I don't want a situation like that where all of a sudden now, in January of next year, we're hearing that, oh, Lookman is unhappy and he wants to move or something silly like that. So
Hmm.
even if he's to join, Juventus like they've linked him to before, or I mean, at this point, PSG, there's no point because there's Due, there's Kvaratskhelia. So just find a team that is in dire need. Even Chelsea said Chelsea need wingers. If his agent should go and follow Chelsea, yeah, he can do a better job than Sancho. So I don't know, but just find a team that desperately need, or even Arsenal self, he is better than Martinelli. Find a team that needs somebody that you can actually go and be a key player for.
Hmm.
I don't need Lookman on the bench. I do not need Lookman on the bench at all. So for me, Barca big club, good move. I'll say no. I'll say no. I'll say no.
I would say yes.
Hmm.
Because at the long run, before January, Lookman will be very settled. You can
Hmm.
see that I watch them play very well. And you're like, okay, come on, Lookman can actually work. I don't think so.
People in the comments, what do you guys think? Should Ademola Lookman accept a move to Barca or no? I'm saying I don't think it's a good move. Bilal is saying he thinks it's a good move. So let's just hear what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Ademola Lookman should accept a move to Barcelona given the circumstances, or should he look for options elsewhere? Um, somebody says Olu says Lookman should go to Juve. Yeah. Daniel says I'd rather he goes to a club where he is a crucial player, which is how I feel about it as well. I want him to go to a club where he will be a key player for them. And, you know, Adedotun says it's going to be like Atlanta where there is rotation. Um, somebody else is saying yes to Barca. Okay. I don't
Well,
know. Is him and his agents that will know what is the best decision for them to take.
hmm.
I just don't want to see our star player on the bench. I don't care where it is. I don't want to see our star player on the bench. Okay. Two other people say yes to Barca. Somebody says I'm a Barcelona fan, but I wouldn't want him to come. Adebowale says I want him to join Liverpool instead of FC Barcelona.
That was even what it was.
Liverpool, I mean, is competing with Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo has had a very fine season, so it's a bit tricky as well. Uh, I think Arsenal, Chelsea, uh, Newcastle,
Hmm.
Aston Villa,
Hmm.
and he's an English boy, so I'm sure he would like to go home. Those are
Hmm.
clubs, Juventus. Those are clubs that they would is better than who they have, and I think he would do well there. Bayer Leverkusen, he can even go to Bayer Leverkusen if he wants.
Hmm.
But yeah, sure. Let's see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. If anybody wants to call and join the show to share their thoughts, the link has now been shared. So please click the link and we will get you on in a bit. If you want to call and share your thoughts, the link has been posted. So please click the link and we will get you on to share your thoughts as we wrap up today's conversation. Okay, let's take the last few topics very, very quickly. Another transfer to wrap up the transfer talk, potential transfer. One of our other star players, key players, one of the, if not the biggest star in all of Nigerian football, of course, Victor Osimhen. Non-stop transfer talk around Victor Osimhen, but according to Fabrizio Romano, the latest reports that we've heard is that teams in England are hesitant to sign Victor Osimhen because of his high wage demands. He wants to earn the 12 million net that he is currently earning at Napoli slash Galatasaray. And right now, the only team that is confirmed to be ready to pay him that amount or even beyond that amount is Al Hilal of Saudi that have come back again to say what's up. Smilai, two-part question. Is there any reason why Osimhen should lower his wage demands to get a move to England or otherwise? That's the first part. And the second part, if none of those teams is ready to pay him what he's asking for, should he go to Saudi?
So let me tell you something. You cannot blame the EPL clubs for saying that they cannot lower because they have this strict wage structure. For example, now if for it's number one choice for Ruben Amorim, but the existing wage structure after the mistake of Casemiro and the other mistake they don't make, they are signing players on low wages now. They don't want to break that wage structure. Players like Kobe Manu, they are on peanuts. Players like Genajuro, they are on peanuts, no players. So they don't want to break that structure. You want to cause rancor in the dressing room. You want a dressing room, a more sensitive dressing room. So they will not want to blame that. For example, now how much is Eucharist asking? How much are you going to pay the lab?
Hmm.
So that's why you see them going for that probably what safer option. So you don't blame them. The same thing with Chelsea too. The same thing with some other big clubs too in the Premier League. Even Newcastle might probably want to pay him more, close to what is actually what currently earning in Napoli. But it's just that is the way it is. After the European Super League failed, there's no more money coming in. So people don't want to gamble. They just want to be strict with their wage structure. They don't overspend because if they overspend, it's gonna be a problem for them. Look at what Messi put Barcelona into. So no no club want to sign a player under this big bogus wage again. Everybody want to really stay under that structured this thing. So for him to lower his wage, see what I also do basically is this: Saudi Arabia will be there all the time, but it's gonna be sad if Victor Osimhen end this beautiful career without playing in Spain or England. You know, because I don't see a way back from him from Saudi Arabia.
Hmm.
Maybe Saudi to talk again. So if he can just sacrifice 1 year or two,
Hmm.
but football, nobody knows tomorrow. Football can change you. You can be look at Gitoba now. We talk about Gitoba. So for me, I just think that if you look at these things very well, I also pray hard too. Know that money they play for money, but it'll be so good to end no to I not say to end though, because he just started his career play to play this thing so that it can actually be a glamorous
Hmm.
for him. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, let me answer the question that I asked. Now, the whole conversation about lowering wages. I remember speaking about this last year, and some people said, "Oh, me, I'm talking bad about Osimhen, blah blah blah." I don't mean to. I love Victor Osimhen. I'm excited. I'm happy for him and what he's doing and how he's putting Nigerian players on the map. The only thing is that the demands that he has, they are high. By all standards, his demands are high. Osimhen is asking for 12 million net. And if we calculate that, it comes to about 500,000 a week based on the wage structure in the UK. If any club pays Victor Osimhen 500,000 pounds per week, automatically he becomes the second highest paid player in England, behind only Erling Haaland. It means that he'll be earning more money than Kevin De Bruyne, who is on 400. He'll be earning more money than Mohamed Salah, who just signed a contract that took him to 400, earning more money than Virgil van Dijk, than Bruno Fernandes, than even the overpaid ones, the Mason Mounts, the Kai Havertz, the Rhys James, Odegaard, all those other ones, the Jack Grealishes of this world. Casemiro, who won everything at Real Madrid, is on 350. So while I love our boy, I love him so much. I think he deserves whatever he feels like he deserves. If truly he wants to play at that level, I think he's going to have to compromise. Because it's not even just the English clubs. The clubs across Europe are hesitant to pay him that kind of money. Not because they don't think he's a good player, but because teams have changed their wage structures. A lot of teams now want to give players incentives to earn their money rather than just giving them upfront a big wad of cash and then the player doesn't deliver. There's also financial fair play that is hitting a lot of the big clubs that usually spend money. So teams are being more cautious. They are spreading payments out over a long period of time to just try to balance the books as much as possible. Will I tell him to lower his wage demands? No. Because if I say this is my pay and Smith Layi comes and tell me, IoT, reduce your pay by $1,000, even me, I'll be like, guy, not be me, they do the work. This is how much I feel like my value is worth. But again, for me, it's just a case of how much does he actually want to achieve that dream of playing at that level versus making as much money as he can make. If he truly, truly believes that his agents can negotiate and push it enough that they would eventually cave and pay him what he wants to earn, fine, it's negotiation. Give himself the best shot to get what he actually wants. But it is just something that for me, when I look at the fact that you want to come and be the second highest paid player in the league, most players don't get that kind of money until they've either played many years and been successful in the league. The likes of Mo Salah has dominated the Premier League for how many years and is only on 400k. Somebody like a Kevin De Bruyne has dominated and been the best player in the Premier League for how many years? Erling Haaland, yes, he came, but Erling Haaland, his goal output is incredible. And as much as Osimhen scores, Haaland scores more playing in the tougher division. So I agree that Osimhen is a fantastic, one of the best in the world, but his output has not yet matched that. Casemiro has won everything before coming there. Virgil van Dijk, we know how good, one of the best defenders in the world, for him to get to where he is today. Bruno Fernandes carrying the whole United on his back, the only good player in United, has still not reached there. You know, so it's just tough. It's really just tough. I think Osimhen is probably going to maybe anything less than 300k. Then I'll say, okay, now you guys are under, you're lowballing him. But at the end of the day, he's the one that chooses what he deserves. I say 300, 300, 350. I can say, okay, yes, they should offer him something like that. But that 500k that he's looking for in a year is a very, very big thing. And any club that is going to pay him that money, they have to have the utmost, utmost, utmost belief in him. Utmost belief in him. And that's the reason why a lot of clubs are now talking about some of these strikers that we know are not as good as Osimhen. Talking about Liam Delap. Come on now. Like, that guy cannot lace Osimhen's boots. Talking about Hugo Ekitike. Like, let's be serious here. We can't compare that guy to Victor Osimhen. But because of Osimhen's wage demands, they are looking in other directions. Victor Gyökeres, who is scoring goals in Sporting, I don't think he's as good as Osimhen. But people will look at a player like that because, you know, one is European and two, his demands are lower. So again, I say, Osimhen, you are within your rights to demand for whatever you think you deserve. But I feel like if he ultimately, the way things are looking, if he ultimately wants to achieve that dream of playing in the English Premier League, there is a very, very good chance that he would have to lower the demands, unfortunately, because nobody seems to be willing to pay that amount across Europe, not even just in the English Premier League, across Europe. Nobody is willing to pay him that amount. Napoli, they are trying to get him off the books as well because they know that they are paying him a very high amount of money. And the other part of the question, should he take a move to Saudi Arabia? Smith Layi, I have to be on the same page with you. If Osimhen goes to Saudi at this point, it's his life, oh, it's his future, it's his family, it's his generational wealth. But from a football fan's point of view, knowing the kind of potential that Osimhen has, knowing how great Osimhen can be, a move to Saudi right now will be disappointing. A move to Saudi right now will be underwhelming. Even more underwhelming than this move to Galatasaray. No matter how anybody wants to paint it, this move to Galatasaray was not what Osimhen was hoping or supposed to do. He has done well there and we're happy about it. But for him to now go from winning Scudetto at Napoli to Turkey to Saudi, it will just be as if his career is going on a downward trajectory. And that's not what we want for our best player and for our superstar player. So I would hope that either somebody agrees to pay him what he wants or he decides to negotiate a way that he can accept lower and maybe find incentives to still get him to where he wants to get to in terms of money that hits his bank account. But it's a very tricky one. It's a very tricky one. Um, all in all, Osimhen and his agents know what they feel is best for him. I just don't want to see him playing in another low division next season. 2 seasons in low division is not what helps you get into the best in the world conversation. People are still interested in him because they know he is a quality player, but too many people are thinking about their financial, the financial aspects of things. Clubs are being more careful now. The ones that can afford him, they are trying not to overpay. So it's just very, very tough, man. It's very tough. It's very tough. I know some people will hear this and say, why are you saying that Nigerian man should not stay? They should not pay him this, they should not pay him that. I just try to be realistic. I love Osimhen. I think he's top two strikers in the world right now. But it's hard for me to look at the trend of things, look at the history, look at the track record of other players, and just say that, oh, I pay him this 500K or nothing. It's hard for me to say it. Especially if a player like Mo Salah is only on 400. Like, let's be realistic. You might want to argue that Osimhen is better than Salah. Fine, it's up for debate. But if we look at track record, Salah is on the older side now. Salah has been there, done that for many years. His career has surpassed Osimhen's career. Let's be realistic with ourselves. And even he is not commanding that kind of money yet. Salah too is an African, so it's not as if maybe I'm saying no because he's a European. Salah too is an African. He has done it for many years. His career has surpassed Osimhen's career. He has not yet reached that kind of money. I don't know, Sha. I don't know. I know that Nigerians, we love him so much, so we are always going to be on his side. But man, Osimhen has a big decision to make. He has a big decision to make. Okay, Smilai, anything you want to add on Victor Osimhen before we?
I nearly fall down my body when you're about because people will come for you. I know that people will come for you. That are you going to tell him about those his life and things like that. And at the end of the day, if Victor Osimhen was injured, would you go and talking about Victor Osimhen every day? So everything stops. With Victor Osimhen and start with Victor Osimhen. So for me, I think he's the one that tend to actually want to know exactly what is best for him. I know that when you are here now, there's so many aunties and uncles that will advising you. But the way I know Victor, he's a strong-headed guy. He knows that if you like advice from now to tomorrow, I know of that advising him now, talking on this podcast, advising him like a big brother. If while I come now, he will just say,
You cannot send anybody.
Victor will do whatever he likes to do. So for me, I just think that Victor still have a lot of business to do in Europe. Victor have not even played well in Champions League. Victor needs to dictate Champions League. Victor needs to do some other things in Europe. He's one of the best players that might go, in our history. So for me, I don't know the reason why these Saudi people, they just come as African heritage to come and be pushing money. And it's money.
They know that it's important to us.
They don't go to Ireland. They don't go to this thing. They will come money. When they see Brazilian, when they see African, money, come, money, sorry. So for me, I just think that he should stay in Europe, and I hope that he can actually listen to us.
Mm,
Obviously, listening, not this say. I just think that it's going to benefit Super Eagles more
mm, mm.
than that.
And I mean, it's so funny because trust me, I have seen a contract offer that a Saudi club sent to a Nigerian player. I've actually seen the documents before. It's been like, if they offer any of us that are on this live right now that those kind of terms, like it's so hard to not accept it. Honestly, it is so hard. From the money, they will give you a house, they will give you a car, they will give you five flights for anybody that you want to invite to Saudi 5 times a year, return ticket for either maybe your friend, your family, your babe, whoever you want to just fly to Saudi and back. They will give you that. They will like accommodation
Uh,
for your people. Like
I think Igalo must have been
the
flying people too.
package is so tasty. Because that player that showed me the contract, I was even saying, I beg, oh yeah, when you take your this thing, one of those your flights is for me. I just know say one of those flights now for me to come because the package is so sweet. But it's just that for a player like Osimhen that has huge potential, not only on the field but also off the field, playing in England opens you up to different marketing opportunities, sponsorships, brand deals, all those kind of things. I think that money he can make it off the field to top up whatever he's making on the field if he markets and does his branding properly. So for me, Sha,
Mhm.
I would say negotiate a little bit more, but don't let it be like last year that you negotiated, and you ended up in Turkey. Because even Galatasaray cannot pay that salary again for another season. So and
No.
Napoli don't want you anymore. They are about to potentially
Mhm.
win the league without you. So they really it's just a tough situation. I hope that everything works out well for him. Let me just quickly take this super chat and question from Real K. Thank you very much, Real K. He's asking, is Victor Boniface considering a move away from Bayer Leverkusen? He seems surplus to requirements at the moment, and he may lose his Super Eagle spot. Smilai, what do you say about that?
No, you don't need the prophet to tell you that it's not part of the man's plan again. Imagine for them looking for goals, they don't look for him. They will go and bring Adli until he's far down the pecking order in the striking for in Bayer Leverkusen currently now. I don't know, maybe that one has to do with they are trying to ease him out of the team. He's going to leave, so they're going to look for a way to offload him. I don't think they see him as part of their project. I think he's going to manage what leave. For me, I'm just talking based on what I observe, so that you don't come and abuse me. I'm I don't think it's bad. Imagine you looking for a go. You are bringing Adli, the Moroccan guy. You're bringing him on, and
Hmm.
and you are, and when it's 2 minutes to go, and there was a game they bought him Boniface, then 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go. So it's not there. When last did he score? He went to go and use that foul language when he scored. This course
Hmm.
is there. So we just need to. He needs to know that his future does not belong in Leverkusen. They will look for a way to sell it, no matter how.
Hmm.
That is my thing. That's what I think is
You
going to
know,
happen.
the thing is, I feel like with Victor Boniface, everything changed in January once the Saudi talk came about. Boniface already packed his bags, ready to go to Saudi. Then the club says, "Psych, we'll sign John Duran instead." I feel like everything changed. I don't know if it was a case of maybe Alonso feeling like, well, if a player is not committed to me, then why should I be committed to the player? Maybe that's how they felt about it. Because from there, they just really stopped using him. They stopped really caring about him.
They started him in the game after.
Yeah, but
Remember?
I feel like
That
that
was,
was
that
just
was-
for media because they had asked Alonso in the press conference whether or not Boniface was still going to be part of his team, and he was like, he's part of us. He's back in training." They started him after, and then from there they just stopped using him. Like you said, even sometimes that you expect them to bring him on, they don't bring him on. Even Nathan Teller, who was on the bench before, has started starting many games, and Boniface is the one that is on the bench. So I feel like that just changed the whole relationship that he had with the coach and with the club. Now, Alonso is probably leaving in the summer for Real Madrid. So might he want to stay and compete under the new coach? Maybe. Might he call his agent and say, find me an opportunity elsewhere? Maybe. But I think Boniface needs to make sure that he can continue playing football and continue playing often because his stock was on the rise. He did very well last season with Bayer Leverkusen. Got noticed by a lot of people. Got some rumors about, oh, maybe he can join this club, maybe he can join that club. And obviously this season his stock has gone down. So he needs to find something that is going to make his stock go back up. And that can only come from playing football. If you're not playing football, nobody's going to be talking about you positively. If nobody's talking about you positively, your stock is not going to go up. I hope that things change for him. I like Victor Boniface. You guys know I like him as a player. I think he's very talented, but there's one thing that they say: talent is never enough. Talent is never enough. And I hope that everything works out in his favor. Okay, Smith, like, before we take callers, we've had some people waiting patiently. Let's just answer a question. I believe TC Gogo had asked this question earlier, asking about the Unity Cup. That how can we play the Unity Cup and play Russia? So TC Gogo, just to answer this, the Unity Cup is May 28th and May 31st. Those games fall outside the FIFA official window. That's the reality. Those games are outside of the FIFA window. But the reason why they're able to schedule the games for that time is because a lot of leagues would have ended already, if not most leagues would have ended already. So players would not be engaged by their clubs. They'll be on holiday. And then anyone that wants to come and fight for their Super Eagles shirt, would you rather take holiday or potentially have a chance to come and establish yourself in the Super Eagles? Most players will take the chance to establish themselves. But we are hearing that some of the key players, like the Osimhens, like the Lookmans, are not going to be part of the squad. They have nothing to prove to anybody anymore, and their league is not ending that early. So it's better for them to rest. And the coach is going to have an opportunity to see new players that he has not necessarily seen before. The game that is scheduled for Russia has been announced by Russia, has not been announced by Nigeria. But all indications show that the game is still going to happen. That game is during the FIFA window, but we're playing against a team that is currently banned by FIFA. So that game is essentially a meaningless friendly to the rest of the world. It only matters to Russia and Nigeria. Russia so that they can keep their players active, and Nigeria so that Eric Shell can test his players against somewhat of a competitive team. So I hope that answers your question. Smith, like, I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
No, I think he's just trying to I don't think he's going to be first team players are going to be there. He's just to bring. It's not like a celebration of like a unity between African and Caribbean. So it's not really. There's not really a lot of things to add to it. Maybe we can get some players in, but I don't think so. Just see the Basi and stand. Just watching the guys play. For me, I think it's good majority of the UK players that I mean playing championship or just what you go to see there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. There we have it, guys. That is the talk that we have for today. So let us just quickly take callers. Everybody will have a couple minutes, 3 minutes for each person to just.
2 minutes,
Okay.
please. Because
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Okay.
already
Two
12.
minutes for everybody to just share their thoughts very quickly, and then we'll call it an evening. We want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in. Please, guys, we currently have over 100 people that are watching and only 56 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please now, I'm actually begging. Just hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Even if you are watching on replay, please hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it sends a positive signal to the platform that we are doing good content, and so that we can reach more people and continue to grow. And if you want to support us, you can also leave a super chat. Super chat costs you some money, but that is a way that you can support us, help us to pay staff salaries, help us to create more content, be able to travel for games, things like that. But please do the one that is free at the very least. Just hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay. Humble Henry, you've been waiting patiently, so I am going to bring you on now. Hello.
Yes, how you doing? Good evening, good afternoon, everybody.
Yes,
Yes,
good
Good
evening.
evening.
yes, Mitlai and AyoT, you guys have said something that is very, very good. Thank you for this show. First, to Victor Osimhen for hitting 30 goals or 31 goals, which is very, very good. And I'm going to talk about it both on the pitch and off the pitch. And also, I'm trying to thank him. I'm also thanking him for giving Romo Star 10 million naira for them to, for them to win the
MPFL.
MPFL,
Mm.
yeah, 2025. 24 to 2025, which is very, very good. It's an avenue for him and also other players to, to help other local teams to tell them, good job, you are doing well. Then another thing I want to say is Osimhen's case, 12 million pounds, right, per year. Yes, please, Osimhen, do not change it. Leave it there. Do not change it. Leave it there. If they want, let them come for you. When you will know that Osimhen is important if Arsenal lose this Champions League. If they want Osimhen, let them come for negotiation. As it stands now, 12 million pounds, let it be there. It's a sign of disrespect because of the way the system is being structured. You want to lower his salary. Hell no. Don't lower his salary. Come for negotiation. So that if he is willing to lower it, fine. If he's not, then if you want to go to Saudi, I'm in support of him. Yeah, you don't need to disrespect him. He have tried. Then another thing is Lookman going to Barcelona. Yes, I'm 100% in support for him to go to Barcelona. And AyoT, no, it's a sign of disrespect that for Lookman to go to Barcelona and be on the bench. Hell no, it's not possible. It's a sign of disrespect for Lookman to go to Real Madrid and be a bench warmer. It's not possible. You hold the best, it's not possible because the guy, we know him, he's a beast. It's impossible for him to go to any club and be on the bench. Rafael, no, it's a competition. Let him go there and compete. He have everything it takes to go there and bench all of them, and they will respect him. The same thing applicable to Osimhen. It's like Osimhen going to Manchester City, and you ask Osimhen to be on the bench, Haaland to play. It's not possible. Osimhen will not agree. In fact, Haaland will run away. That is the mindset I like. Haaland will sure just put of them in the same club. Osimhen will not. He will say no. I will play. I want to play. And that is what I want. And the same thing with Lookman. Lookman will not agree. In fact, he will not even talk about it. But the way he will play during the training, that will be good. Yeah, if it is Chukwueze, he can be on the bench or Boniface. They might be on the bench, yeah, because those people are not serious. If you see people who are serious, you will know.
Okay.
And in fact, the coach himself will be afraid. The coach will be afraid to bring them. The way the people work on the I don't want to talk much.
Yeah,
But you see, for him to go to Barcelona, I'm in support of him. Let him go there and compete. Who is Jamal? Who is Rafael?
Okay.
Before Rafael go there, there's a kind of mind I have. Who are they? Let him go there and show them that he is the best.
Unbelievable. Your point has been well received. Unfortunately, because we're out of time, I have to let you go. But
Yes, I
I,
rest
I hear
myself. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Humblery is saying that no matter who it is, Osimhen is going to go there and is going to win the sport, and nobody can stop him. And I like the mentality. That's how every player should feel. That's how every player should think. Maybe I like to be a bit too realistic, and I like to just look at things, because when you say who is Yamal, Yamal is this 17, 18-year-old boy that is coming from the academy that is potentially the next best thing that football has ever seen. It's going to be hard for them to bench him for somebody like Lookman, that is an African player coming at the age of 27, 28. It's just going to be hard. They would rather give that guy a chance to grow to a superstar. But I hear what Humble is saying. Victory, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, AyoT.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. I hope you can hear me. I'm struggling with my network. What I just want to say is concerning Osimhen's transfer. Osimhen now, we all know him as the Jaya of Africa. The thing is that if one wants to be frank, to let's say to a minimum, Osimhen has been consistent. Yes, let's be frank. Judging from his under 17 days, I've been watching him from when he was under 17. Sure, I haven't have the video clips. I watch them over and over. Going to Belgium, going to Lille. When Osimhen went to Lille, I was telling my friend when what's this guy's name? Madin. No, sorry, this Gattuso went to buy him in Napoli.
Mm.
Gattuso said he would do everything possible to bring him to Napoli. He saw the potential in him. He just knew that Osimhen would deliver. He could just, it's just so unfortunate that Gattuso could not stay long to just enjoy the fruit of his labor because, the product he bought won them the Scudetto and he was not there because of the contract and.
Mm.
So he has proved it in Lille. I think Osimhen broke Hazard record in Lille. There was one particular record he broke in Lille when he was in Lille. I don't know whether Hazard or African, but he broke one record. I can't remember again.
Mm.
So he went to Napoli. We all see what he did in Napoli, Super Eagles. We know if you give Osimhen 3 more years with God on his side or with all things being equal, he should be able to break Rashidi Yekini's record. So he knows him putting more value. He knows his what. He knows what he can do. Check Osimhen in Galatasaray. Like he just, I watch him week in week out. And if I not watch the full game, I watch the highlights. That has been consistent. You understand? But in another thought, because I'm a Barcelona fan, you can even see yes, the guys likes of Neymar to spoil the transfer market. Sure, even my team now, they buy anybody on earth, they buy you. And you see teams like Real Madrid, they will wait and takes the player on a free transfer or takes the player, you understand? So those people have made the market value, teams are a bit skeptical about buying a player, even when they know that this is the actual player they need. So, this Saudi Arabia, they don't have issues with money. Those guys, anything you want, will give you. If you want us to feed your generation, will give you. Just come and play football. You get so that's one thing. Europe are just being careful. Then Lookman, like I said earlier on the chat, you get. I'm a Barcelona fan. It's very wonderful for Lookman to be on my team. But as a Nigerian and as someone who loves and cherishes Nigerian players and want them to excel, I will not want Lookman to come to Barcelona. There are times we even hear rumors that Osimhen will come. I was telling my fellow Barcelona fan, I said, "Oh God, make you no come," because I know Spanish guys. It's sometimes they have issues with these African players and black players. I don't know. Sometimes they just want to use their white people. You understand? Lookman will play good football, but Barcelona is one of the formidable team now in the world. So he may not really have that time. I would love Lookman to go to a team like Liverpool, you get, or even Inter Milan. He should go to a team like Liverpool, a team like Arsenal. You understand? Those are teams that actually they have a structure which he can fit in well. Make you no go man you could just go ruin your career there because those people they get spiritual problem. All right, so that's my own take on that. And Boniface, I don't know.
30
Boniface should
seconds,
just
bro.
try and yeah, I know. Boniface should just try and get his game on. I like him also. He's skillful. Boniface is skillful. His trademark pass. All of us know his trademark pass. We know what he can do, but I don't know. He should just get his game on. Maybe talk to people. I don't know coaches and everything. You get. I know Boniface can deliver. It is just maybe let's say time. Sometimes you just pass through a time whereby you are in recess, then later you come out stronger. So that's what I just want to say. Yeah.
Mm. All right. Thank you very much, Victory.
Yeah, yeah.
Victory, the only thing that I would say is I see Osimhen has been consistent. I'm not trying to knock Osimhen, but compared to the highest earners, has it been as consistent as them? That's the question. But I hear what you're saying, nevertheless. I hear what you're saying. Thank you very much. Okay. One more caller and then we'll wrap up for this evening. Miss Adidoton, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, AyoT. Mila, how are you doing? Let me talk about the Czech transfers. Let me start with our star boy, Victor Osimhen. I love Victor Osimhen. He's the poster boy of our football now. And I love the last caller. I think Ogenyi should be realistic. We don't have to talk out of emotion. We should be realistic. I agree with you. See, now European players, European clubs and doing business. They don't want to spend money anyhow. I agree with you that no club will want to pay that much for Osimhen now. And mind you, I think it's only in Galatasaray that Osimhen has been injury free. Osimhen is also prone to injury.
Mm.
And mind you, this somebody you said Alan. Alan is white African. It's Arab. Osimhen is black. You have to put that into consideration. So, Ogbonyi, because we know it's Osimhen's uncle, but Osimhen, business-wise, Osimhen, he knows all these people. They know what's going on in European football now. Coupled with the financial fair play, Osimhen should also his handler should lower his pay if they want to. See, Europeans will move on to other players in as much as they want you. They won't move on to, when Osimhen moved to Lille, he was given a chance. Remember, from Charleroi to Lille, he was given a chance. It wasn't that he wasn't the best. Then from Lille to Napoli, that's what gave him a chance. The same way they gave Osimhen a chance, they believe Europeans believe that they can give another player a chance. They can even surpass your record. I want for Osimhen, if he still wants to play in Europe, to lower, either 12 million and be in the real of 300. You say Allah will run away. Allah will run away for Osimhen. Mind you, his skill is also play a part there. He should come down to around 300 or 350 if he wants to play in Europe. But if he knows he doesn't want to come down, he should go to Saudi. We will still support him. We have seen it. We know he can deliver. He should go Saudi, because someone like me too, I want players to say, especially African players, to save for their future. Because after football, everybody forget about him. The only what he makes is what will sustain him and his family. That's that on that. And like last caller said, I would not want Ademola Lookman to go to Barcelona, because mind you, we are going to World Cup here. As most of these guys in Barcelona, they all play for Spain. I've been following for long. Now you agree with me that during World Cup here, country clubs don't bench their national team players. They hardly bench them. So, to me, I believe everyone can play in Barcelona, but nobody will bench Omo or Yamal, all this Pedri for Ademola Lookman. As I go into World Cup here, they're not going to do that. So I want for him to go to a club where they have, where they have, like guys say, Inter, Liverpool. Most of the players there are not playing for England. They're not English national team. So he can go to clubs like that. Then on Victor Boniface and Gift Orban, I think this guy too should look inward. All the analysts should talk to them and see what is happening to them, especially Gift Orban. Like, I agree with me. I think Orban, this summer windows, it should just go somewhere, get his with his psychologist and see what is wrong. He should. I'm sorry to say, I'm not his father, I'm not his mother, I'm not his relative. So when I saw the picture and I saw all the tattoos on the body, I said, this guy is still young, you know, about this tattoo, But that's my own. But I feel the guy should just go to back drawing board, talk to his psychologist and see what's going on. Same thing goes to Victor Boniface. But for Tolu, I think he should think about going to a bigger club. That will give him more laurels. But he should think about his career. Do you want to play on good bench? Smith, remember when Olise went to Juventus? He was already getting to the peak of his career. And when he went to Juventus, he was on the bench he was deputizing for Edgar Davis. But Tolu is young. He should not go and deputize for any another player, except there's an agreement that, okay, I'm going to play be playing at least 30% of all the matches. Some Brazilian players sign that contract. If you agree that they agree that it's going to pay 30% of the matches, they can go. But for
All right.
me, I want to go to an African club where he can show himself like Union Berlin or Mainz or those mid-table clubs. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Didotun. Very well said. Your points are well noted. Appreciate you for tuning in from the very beginning and for helping us to close the show. So yeah, we've come to the end of today's conversation, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Yes, Sudlai is already rubbing his eyes. So please, if you haven't liked the video, please make sure you like the video. If you are watching on replay, please make sure you watch on replay. If you still want to support us, leave a super chat. Even if you're watching on replay, you can still leave a super chat with your comment. Please, anything that you guys want us to debate on next week's episode of the debate show, please leave it in the comments below so that we can take those points. If you want to debate, if you want to join the debate, leave it in the comments so that we can reach out to you as well. And if you haven't already, please go and watch our video where we ranked the top 20 Nigerian defenders of all time. A lot of people have been fighting us in the comments. It's all good. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But if you have not watched it, it is a very interesting, engaging, and educational video. And it is one that I am sure you are going to love and you are going to enjoy. So please, if you haven't watched that yet, make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out. Go and watch the debates. Rather, not debates. Go and watch the ET ranks video where we ranked the top 20 Nigerian defenders of all time. Next week, the video ranking the top 20 midfielders of all time is going to be out. And that one is going to be just as, if not even more exciting than the defenders one. You guys can already think of some of the midfielders that we've had in our history. So you know who we're going to be talking about. So please, guys, make sure you check that out on Eagles Tracker. The home of Nigerian Football Podcast is going to be coming back soon. I've recorded some interviews that we're trying to prepare. Timing matters for certain things, so we're not putting some out quite yet. Still in the works. Yakubu Egbeni is still in the works. Leon Balogun timing is what is Leon Balogun timing is what we're looking for there. But it's for sure going to come. I promise you guys. Yakubu Egbeni is going to happen. Sani Keita is going to happen, and so much more that we have planned. And we didn't talk about it today, but the under 20 AFCON begins for the Flying Eagles on May the 1st, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, May the 3rd against Tunisia.
Thursday.
Thursday is the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's May the 1st now.
Yeah, May the first, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, May the 1st against Tunisia, the kickoff. So please, if you can watch it, make sure you tune in. I don't think I'm going to do a watch along for that one. I'll confirm because I have car service appointment at that time. So unless I cancel my car service to watch the game, but I have to confirm and see if that's something that I can move. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone that has stuck with us. Thank you to TC Gogo. Thank you to Real K. Thank you to those that are members of the channel. We really appreciate you guys. You guys help us continue running what we're doing, continue to produce high quality content. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to everyone that left a comment. Even if you didn't leave a super chat, we really appreciate you. And please, if you have not liked the video, make sure you hit the like button before you go. Until next time, we'll see you again next week on Monday and on Tuesday for the podcast and for the debate show. As always, my name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith Layi. Thank you guys
yes.
for your
This has been the Naija FC podcast.